Yes, yes.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Yes. Okay. Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Just I want to welcome our esteemed guest, Dr. Abdul Hye, who has been devoting his time for dawah, and presentation is of high quality, and we will learn today about longevity, how to increase healthy life from Dr. Abdul Hye. It's 2 o'clock in the morning in Houston, where he is, and he's awake only for our presentation. Inshallah, we'll learn a lot from this presentation. And later, Brother Yusuf, the organizer of the program, will circulate the file to all of you, inshallah. So, Dr. Abdul Hye, it's all yours.
Okay. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. So can you see my page?
Yes.
First page?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so this is, I'd like to start with the saying that longevity something is relative, and I don't want to confuse you. It is educational presentation, mostly. Use it. Like when you are sick, you go to the doctor or go to the hospital, not because they can cure you. They can try, but ultimately it is in the hands of Allah.
Right.
So these are educational presentation based on religion, medical, and scientific data. You can see there are 85 or 86 variables which can dictate your lifespan. So if the more you know, the more you can take care of them, the better chance you have to have a longer life. Ultimate authority is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The goal is 120 years, as I mentioned in the book. This is the person, as you can see, in Bolivia. She recently passed away. This is the picture in when she was 118 years old. And recently she passed away. She was one of the oldest person ever lived. Just to show you that it is possible to live that long. There are many references in the Quran. As you can see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in Al-Baqarah, verse number 201, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanata wa fil akhirati hasanata wa qina azaban nar. Our Lord, give us in this world that which is good. See, we are asking first in this world, then hereafter. So it is encouraged to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ask something which is good in this world. We want, all of us want something good in this world while you are alive, and everything in the life hereafter. In the same way, the another verse in Surah Qasas, verse number 77, Allah also mentioned about the worldly things. And do not neglect your portion of this world. What Allah is reminding us, that it is okay to ask everything good in this world also. We have some people, they always think that, okay, Allah will give me everything over there. And they focus mostly on akhirat. But while you are living on the earth, we should also think, ask Allah what is best for us in this world. So it is encouraged. Nothing wrong with that. And there are references of hadith. This is Al-Azami. Nothing except death, divert fate, and nothing except virtuous deed increase life. In other words, if you have virtuous deeds, it can help you to extend your life. Donation, sadaqah can avert disaster. There are many examples. People are about to, have a big accident or disaster, but they gave sadaqah. It can avert your disaster. It is possible. So always keep in mind to give sadaqah, and different months of the year. Try to make a habit to give sadaqah to many causes, any causes. Anyone who wants to have his provision extended, his of life prolonged, and for the people to speak well for him should maintain ties of kinship. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, to take care of your kins is a good thing, which is a part of sadaqah also, can extend your life. There is nothing wrong for prayer, for long life, for goodness, which pleases Allah. Sheikh bin Baz. So it is okay to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala everything good in this world. We don't hesitate. Allah has resources unlimited. He can give, he can not only give you in the life hereafter, but he can also give you in this world. Nothing will be short for him to give it to you in this world. So do not hesitate to ask good things in this world. That is the message here. Good life, good health, good resources, everything good in this world. You can benefit, you can use it for dawah, you can use it to your relatives, and many good causes. So we are born here and will die here. So how can you make it longer? That is the goal here. Expectancy. We do not know, but we try our best to make it longer. We continuously monitor everything in your life, as you can see. All these things are continuously monitored. Your bank balance, you check it continuously, your business activities, your investment strategy, your job performance, political planning, credit score, speed control. When you drive, you check your speed, especially when you see a police car. Street light, date and time. You continuously monitor these things and decide continuously. It affects our life. It can do a lot of things, save us a lot of things. So those things we continuously monitor for our decision and act accordingly. Everything has an impact on your life. Every time you see those numbers, or those facts, you decide and change your strategy to make a better one, so that you can accommodate, you can take care of your actions. And now you'll be surprised who monitors your lifespan. You can say that, well, I don't need that much life, I am ready to live. That's fine. But actually, if you look around, there are a lot of people actually look for your lifespan. First of all, US government looks for your lifespan. IRS, Social Security, CIA looks for your lifespan. Your insurance company, your bank knows how old you are. In fact, you cannot open a bank account without giving your date of birth. Hospitals, if you go to the hospital, they want to know everything. How old are you? Your employers, retirement, how much benefit they're going to give it to you when you retire. All these things are 401k. Your family knows. They're actually waiting when you're going to die. These are a normal thing to think. Almost everyone. And who doesn't do that? It is you. Life expectancy is important. Allah knows, as I mentioned, but it is good to be prepared. Everyone is prepared except you. It should not be that way. It should not be suddenly. You should prepare it. When it comes, you are ready. You're prepared. And there are people, there are some numbers I want to share with you. There are people who have a long life. And the research was done that why these people has longer life. Number one is ordinary people. They don't have to be a big bodybuilder or anything. They're just ordinary people. They live long life. Religious people. If someone is religious, there is every chance that he'll live longer. Family person. Someone has family. He's not alone. He's around his family, children, wife, all those kind of activities a person does. It helps him to enhance his life. Around grandchildren. It's so good thing. You have grandchildren, you hug, you play with them, and that helps your morale. Your life expectancy will be higher. It affects, it helps. Good natural food. You food something natural, less artificial things. Avoid artificial food. Those who do that, they live longer. No drug or alcohol, as minimum as possible, or nothing at all. It helps. Care for your health. If you care for your health, it will help you. You'll be more conscious. You'll be more careful about your health to do anything you are doing. This kind of people live longer. No abuse of the body. Low stressful life. Life is full of stresses. People are stressed for your job, for business, for so many things. But those who can make it less, they live longer. Happy people. Are you happy? What you have around you? If you can, you live longer. So these are the 10 criteria which makes life expectancy longer. If you are one of them, if you can try to adopt as many as possible, it will help you actually. Can you be happy? Under all situations, be happy. There's no reason to be angry. There's no reason to be unhappy, and it doesn't help your situation. But if you can make the best of your situation, be happy, it helps your life. And feel young. How about that? You know, you can be 80 years, 90 years, but can you feel happy? Can you feel young? That yes, I'm still long way to go. I'm not old. Can you mentally prepare your mind that yes, it is okay. I'm 75, it's still okay. I have a long way to go. You don't feel bored. You don't feel bad that you're too old. If you can mentally prepare your mind like that, you'll be longer life. Feeling is important. Always don't think that, well, I'm old, I'm going to die. Of course, death is coming, but you can also feel young as much as possible. So these are the variables. If you can adopt as much as possible, it will help you. And there are many countries around the world. As you can see, people are dying for many ordinary reasons. Good example, the mother at first childbirth. 30% of the time, the mother is dead during delivery, especially in the remote areas, in the village, developing countries, even in Bangladesh. In the remote areas, first delivery, she is labor pain for 24 hours, 36 hours, could not deliver and die because there is no access to hospital or surgery or anything like that. And environmental impact of water, food, air, it can damage, especially developing countries. Lack of treatment to preventable disease. There are cures, but you are in a remote place. You don't have the access. Lack of immunization. Good example, polio. Polio used to be, everywhere, even developing countries. Then worldwide, there was a campaign, United Nations and many other organizations, the campaign, and it is almost extinct now. But if you look, some countries still, they did not take care. A good example, Pakistan. Still, they have a polio. Children are dying because of polio, because they have a religious belief that you don't take those drops. It takes just a little drop. It costs less than 1 cent. Bill Gates Foundation provide those drops to many developing countries, and just that drop can make a difference in that child's life, rest of his life, polio. But we sometimes ignore. We sometimes rely on false belief and do not take any action. So that is a lack of immunization, lack of education of healthcare. There are remedies, but to do that, we think Allah will take care of me, and we have all kinds of ignorance, and that can cost people's life. It is happening around the world in those developing countries. So we should try to avoid as much as possible. Now here is a list of the life expectancy according to CIA. They do research of every country. They have a list of every country, how long people will live in that country. They actually have a plan for every country. You'll be surprised. They know that, and they do survey. So I put few countries Just to give you some idea, sample idea, good example, USA is 78, average life expectancy. And if it is women, 81. That's why richest people in America are women. The husband work hard and they die early, and his wife owns everything. This is normal. Wife lives longer. And if you go up, Canada 81, Europe 82, Europe, all Europe is peaceful. And there is a good reason, Norway, Sweden, all these countries. Japan is one of the good countries, 85, Monaco 89. If you go to Middle East, 75. Bangladesh, India, Bangladesh has increased recently, 72. India 67, Pakistan 66, Africa 50. Whole Africa has a very low life expectancy. Afghanistan 44. How about that? If you go to Mozambique, 37. Lowest in my list is 37, Mozambique and Zambia. They don't live even 50 years. They just die like that. This is normal in those countries. Somebody live like in Europe and America, somebody is 80 years, 90 years, no problem. But in Africa and Mozambique, somebody lived 50 years. Oh, mashallah, he has a long life. We gave him thanks. That is the mental thinking of the people in that countries. That's what I'm trying to show you, that people have those kind of understanding and they use it as a base for their life expectancy. This is so low. So I have 15 major items. I'm going to go very quickly about this. One is a structure, and everyone has a level based on the survey, based on the scientific data. It has a level. How it cannot be negative, it can be positive. These are years. It can make a difference. Just to educate yourself, and you try to avoid. This is BMI, body mass index. Your height and your weight has to do with the number. As you can see, normal is 18 to 25. If you're overweight, 25 to 30. It is not desirable. And if you're obese, above 30, it is completely not acceptable. So you try to be normal, 18 to 25, based on your height and weight. You don't want to be overweight. You don't want to be too long. If you're too long, you should gain weight so that your BMI is in that category, in the normal level. That helps. Doctors use it, hospital use it, everyone use it as a benchmark to make your size, make how weight it should be and how long you are. Based on that, how weight it should be. It gives a understanding that you can control your weight. You cannot control your height, but you can control your weight and make your BMI in the normal scale. Everyone should try to use it. Your lifespan structure, good example. Structure has, like, if you are a male, you lose 3 years. If you are a female, you add 4 years. So someone is a female, automatically she has the advantage. She has a longer life. Current age, if you are already 80, you can add 3. You have a better chance to live little longer. If you are 50, you don't have anything to add. These are the scientific data. You can use it as a base model to add or subtract from your life expectancy. If you are overweight, you lose some years. If you are less, it helps. Ideal weight is probably 100 to 150. Height. If you're taller, it helps. Your structure, your heart has more room to pump, and a lot of other things. Your flow rate, blood flow rate, all these things are better for you if you have a height. You cannot change anything, but it's good to know that. So you can accommodate accordingly. So BMI, as I mentioned, 18 to 25 is the normal one. It is the best one. Anything more, not good. Underweight or overweight. Overweight can be severe. Severely obese, about 40 or above. He's just walking like a dead man. So those things are not desirable. Highly should control immediately. There is hardly anything left. The person is about to leave. Those kind of things. This is family tradition. If your family has, most of them has say 80 years, they have a good chance you'll arrive at that age. It is better for you, your family tradition. If you have a family with a stroke, there is a chance that you might have similar things. Obesity, chronic depression, not healthy. If you have more daughters, if you are in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, you will be panicking, you will be worried, you will have to give dowry, all these things. You lose years. Most of your money will be gone to give them marriage. On the other hand, if you are Middle East, it adds. Richest people in the Middle East are those people who has more daughters. Is it not so strange? Just opposite to India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. And if you don't have anything, you have less headache. That's why Prophet ﷺ says, if you have two daughters and you give them in marriage, Allah will take care of you to place a special place for you in paradise. A special place reserved for you in paradise. So it is healthy. Similarly, if your friends, you're associated with people who have longer life, there is a natural thing to think that you may have similar things. If you are grandparents, it helps, as I mentioned at the beginning. If you have grandchildren, it helps to have an extended life. Similarly, if you leave some countries, these are some of the numbers. As you can see, if you are in USA and Canada, say you start with 0. If you go to Australia, it is a little longer. Russia, more. Most of the people in Russia, they live good food. They live in cold areas, and they have less artificial food. All these things helps. Europe is also not bad. Japan is +5. But on the other hand, if you go to China, if you go to India, Pakistan, -5, Middle East, -5, Asia, -3, West is Africa, Central Africa. Most of the people live very, very short life. You can see in the map, if you are in the southern, like South Africa, a little better than Central Africa. So these are some of the numbers, plus and minus. You lose because you're living in a certain place. That can cost you. On the other hand, if you go to a certain place where health services, medical facility are better, you have a better chance of living longer. Similarly, education helps. If you have no education, you die quickly. If you have a higher education, you live longer. It is natural. Your thinking is different. Because when you have higher education, like somebody has a PhD, he thinks different. His attitude, his way of talking, his behavior, everything is proportionate to his education, and it helps his lifespan. Similarly, if you do some daily activity, exercise, aerobic, swimming, logging, biking, walking, all these things are very healthy. As you can see, they're all very good for you. We all should do that. Similarly, if you do heavy lifting, running, jogging, all these things are also good. Or if you are a sportsman, if you're playing tennis, soccer, football, basketball, they're all healthy. These are the area we should focus. If you're not doing anything, you should join in any of this activity, and it will help your lifespan. It is never late. Believe me, it always helps. Similarly, food. Is your food colorful? When you look at your food, look at this. Is it like this? Lot of colors. It should be. Balanced food. You eat balanced food. Not there are some people who always eat like more meat, more kebab. These are not healthy. You should balance it. If you don't balance, then there's bad news. If you balance vegetable, fruit, diet control, it helps. You get almost 5-year difference. If you eat more meat, you live early. If you have more mixed vegetable, it helps. As you can see, you make your selection of your food in such a way it is colorful, not too much meat, also vegetable, whole grain, mixed, so that it will help you. Your system will be good, plus it will help you, make you healthy. Bad habits or good habits. Accept mistakes. Do you accept, if somebody says you made a mistake, do you accept it? It helps your longevity. There are people, they will not accept it. They are angry, they are arrogant. These are not healthy thing to have. If you are a bad politician, but if you are calm down, if you made a mistake, even to your wife, say, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It helps your expectancy. If you're arrogant, hot-tempered, are you relaxed? It helps, as you can see. Intense. There are people who are always intense, aggressive, easily angered. These are not good. If you can calm down these things, it adds few years of your life. Stubborn, hard-headed, anger, not good. Calm down. You cannot change the world. Take it as is. If you have a disagreement with your wife, accept it and come to some understanding. It will help you. Soft drinks. Little bit is okay, but not too much. It has a lot of ingredients you don't want in your system. Buckle up. Do you buckle up as soon as you sit in your car? It shows that you care. The sign of a safe driver. If you do sometimes, it is okay, but police can give you ticket. If you don't, that's bad news. You are not careful. You are speeding, bad news. Try to slow down. You cannot speed up all the time. You will end up with an accident, end up in a hospital. And so many things can go wrong. Take precautions. These are healthy habits or bad habits, either way. Similarly, if you have diseases you cannot control, but you can take precautions. Asthma, lung cancer, you lose your life, lot of life. Low blood pressure, low count, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, high cholesterol. See, doctor tests those things from your blood. So try to minimize those things as much as possible. If you're sick, take medication which can cure you or suppress your activities. These are signs early on. You may be too young, but if you have those diseases, you should take precautions early on. Prostate cancer, diabetes is common. Most of the people in Asia has diabetes. Or so many things can go wrong. Your kidney, your liver can fail. So take precautions. I mean, all these things are there. If you have it, take precautions. That's the message. Just don't ignore those things. It will not help you. Snoring, if you are snoring, if HIV positive, bad news. Cancer in the family before age 50, very soon you will have the cancer. It is run through the family. Kidney problem, liver problem. So those are the areas, as you can see. If you have no problem, it helps. You add 2 years of your life, every one of them will add your life expectancy. More, you are free from those diseases. But if you have, take precautions, take extra care. Similarly, your life can be stressful. If you are married, it helps. If you are not married, you live early. This is so beautiful, right? So those who are listening, try to get married if you are not married. It will help your life. You get extra 5 years. How about that? Live alone. A lot of people live alone. It is not healthy. You'll do a lot of things. You don't want to do it if you would be living with somebody, even not married. But live with somebody your relatives, your acquaintances, that helps, not alone. If you're religious, it helps. If you're not religious, you leave early. Puzzle game learning, those things. Those are extra activities. Sometimes you have nothing to do. You came from work and you have nothing else to do. You keep watching TV. But instead of watching TV, you can also do other things like jigsaw puzzle, game, learning, reading books, those kind of things, extra things to keep your memory sharp. It is said that every person loses 15 to 50,000 brain cells in a year. You will lose 15 to 50,000 brain cells in a year. How can you cannot stop it. How can you slow it down? You can slow it down by being very active. That's why in America, we have senior citizens house. They used to live together. They used to live lonely and they used to die quickly. Now they added many other activities like being a pet, grandchildren visit. All these things are added to give extra activity in your life. 65 and still working. That's a healthy thing. Many people have, once they retire, they quickly die because they have no activity left to do. So be active. Do something. Anything you do. Walk, read book, or help, be a volunteer, anything. It will help you. Drug is a bad news. It is rampant everywhere. As you can see, it is going to kill you. Now, drugs are more powerful, more harmful, and more damaging. Left hand. If you have used left hand, it helps. It has a benefit. If you are driving while intoxicated, it's not good. Besides death, it will go through your brain. It is said that on an average, it takes alcohol to go through your body 6 to 8 hours before it is dissolved into your system. It takes longest time than meat, than food, than anything else. So it is not healthy to be drunk. Alcohol also. So these are the things, not bad habits. Bad habits, try to be as less as possible. Cosmetic surgery is not good. People die early. Multiple partners, not good. Use protection, it helps. If you have a pet, dog, cat, it helps. Even fish, if you don't like pet, get a aquarium or fish, that helps. Vitamin supplement helps. Smoking is bad news. The more you smoke, heavy is -4 years. You die, lung cancer, and all these things are there. If you sleep is a relative term. It depends on individuals, but on an average, it has been found the best sleeping time is 5 to 6 hours. If you sleep less, it is going to hurt you. And if you sleep more, it is going to make you obese. So try to balance it. You have nothing else to do, don't keep on sleeping. Get up and do exercise, do something extra, activities. Volunteer, make yourself volunteer, go to some charitable organization, go to the masjid and help people. Teach classes for the children. You have a good career, education, teach children in the masjid, in the Islamic school. Similarly, if you live in a city where it's full of like this, as you can see, like Delhi, New Delhi is one a good example. It is like this. It is bad news. If you live with a smoker, like they call it second-hand smoking, you lose, even if you're not smoking, but you'll be affected. You lose 2 years as compared to +1 years if you don't live with someone smoking. Air quality, the place where you live, air quality is poor, it will cut your life. If in a good place, it will add your life. City, good example. It has been found if you live in a city, heavily populated. Good example, a big city, 7 million and more, minus 2 years, you die early. Medium 4 to 7 is okay. If you can live in a small place, small suburban areas, you can add 2 years. So moving from a big city to a suburban city can add 4 years of your life. Why should I not do that? If I can manage it, my job, my business, whatever you're doing, if you can accommodate, go to area where air is less polluted and you have extra years to enjoy. We should always think that way. Living in a heavily polluted city is not a good thing to do. You may have all the money you have, all the luxury you have, but you'll have to live early. Similarly, there are many things, your activities, what you do. Cab driver, good example. The reason is cab driver in New York, average life expectancy of a cab driver is just 10 years. You lose 5 years, 5 to 10 years. After 10 years of driving cab, he cannot move anymore. His back is completely gone. Sitting 16 to 18 hours driving cab is not healthy. Comedian has a good life. They talk, they make jokes, and they're funny, and it helps their life expectancy. Daily labor is hard work. Everything is, your body loses air, loses water, and so many things. If you have a desk job, you're sitting in the computer all whole day, it is not healthy. You're not doing any activity. You're sitting over there or working with computer. Try to make a break. Take a break every hour, take a break. Otherwise, you'll be losing a lot of time. Doctor, dentist, they live through their profession with the diseases, meeting with patients, have diseases, so they are exposed to a lot of things, they become sick. Hospital job, those are the areas. It is said that in America, every year, 105,000 people die. You know why? Because they went to the hospital to visit somebody. Just walk through the hospital is fully polluted place. It has a lot of germs everywhere. Try to avoid as much as possible. 105,000 people just died because they visited hospital. Not for disease or anything, they just went over there. So try to avoid as much as possible. And if you have a job over there, try to find alternative jobs. It helps. Walk, lift job, it's healthy, as you can see. They take care more load. Sumo wrestler, average life expectancy is 35 years. You lose most of your life because you're just pushing somebody outside the circle. That's what sumo wrestler does. And they pay big price because their body is not healthy. Similarly, you have a full of stress of your life. If you have a lot of stress, cell phone, good example. We use a lot of cell phone. Most of the people do that, continuously talking on the cell phone. We should not do that. You should only use it when it's necessary. Text it so that you don't have to talk on the phone. It has a lot of side effects. If you don't use cell phone, you live 2 years longer. How about that? Commute. If you are going to your job, commute, long distances can add your life. If nothing happens, you lose that time, which while you are sitting in the car or on the cab, while you are going to work, 50 miles as compared to 10 miles. People fall asleep. I have seen van people carrying people to drop them in their jobs, and then they fall asleep in the van, or they read newspaper. All these things are not healthy. You're sitting over there. You're not doing any activity. So try to avoid. If you have to work that far, leave that close from your workplace so that you can have a healthy life. You have extra years of your life to use it. Not in the van, not in the car, but do some productive work. Job with stress, negative to positive, as you can see. Stress management. If you can manage, it helps. Income debt. If you are rich, most of the time you are worried about your money and all these things, and that can cost your life. You die with heart attack. If you have less money, it helps. Average is okay. Are you happy with what you are, your life span? Abraham Lincoln said most people are about as happy as they make up their minds to be. If you think you are happy, you are happy. If you think you are not happy, you are not happy. It is a relative term. So try to make best use of your situation in your job, in your family, in your wherever you are. Come to some understanding so that you can be happy. You can move on with your life. You are not unhappy. That's my message. So if you are happy, you live longer. If you are unhappy, you live early. Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to, I never came across a person who smiled as much as the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, narrated by Tirmizi. So beautiful. He used to be a smiling face. He used to be dealing with his sahabas, companions, family members, everyone with a smiling face. It is a good habit, especially Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did. We should make habit also like that. How frequently you visit a doctor? It makes a difference. Many things are identified in your yearly visit. Some people are completely, don't care. They don't go to the doctor unless they are sick. That is not a good habit. Some people go as needed. Some people has a goal, medicine as minimum as possible, not too heavy, no medicine at all. Be careful not to take a lot of medicine. Blood pressure check regularly. A hearing aid. Yearly checkup. This is the thing I was talking about. If you do yearly checkup, it helps. It finds a lot of things which early stage, and it helps your healthy life. If you do not take care, a time will come, you'll find doctor will find something in your system. Then they will say it is too late. It has a spread. The cancer has a spread in your prostate and other places. You have only few months to live. Those kind of surprises you should not have. Every year checkup. Unfortunately, people have time to check up everything: your bank balance, your car, your oil level, your water in the car, all these things. Careful about their other things than their own health. That is not healthy. Take time to your health also, as compared to other things. So these are the 15 items, as I mentioned. As you can see, each of them has a importance. Number one important is lifestyle, how you live. It can make a big difference, significant difference in your lifespan. Then habits, then risk, taking care. These are top of the line. Then you have family history, exercise. Exercise helps. Stress, food, all these things come. And the lowest of this scale is income. So you can see income has very little to do with how long you will live. So people has a notion that the person who is rich, he'll live very long. And I'm poor, I'll live very quick, very short, right? That is not true. That has very little to do with your lifespan. So try to pick up out of these 15 items, try to pick up top 5, 6 of them and make your adjustment so that you can be healthy and longer life. How to increase your lifespan? Death comes suddenly, so plan now. You should prepare because you have to go, especially as a Muslim. We have to go, so take precautions. Take all kinds of actions so that you can live peacefully. Take action to secure higher points on each item. Whatever you score, I'll show you the table a little later. Whatever you score based on these variables I showed you, then try to see if you can score more by changing your habits. Each item. Select at least 3 items and focus daily. Control lifespan, style. Be focused and disciplined. Sadaqah, donate as much as possible. You cannot take your money, just donate as much as you can to your relatives, to your friends, who needs masjids. Maximize remaining years for dawah and volunteer. We all will be living, but do something useful, beneficial, more rewarding, like dawah, volunteer. Compassionate on rights violation, ask for forgiveness. Compensate. If you violate somebody's right, compensate with your wife, with your children, with your friends, your neighbors. If you have cheated, you have hurt, settle them, because in the day of judgment, it is very costly to pay, and you cannot pay. That's what Prophet ﷺ says. He is the poorest person who will rise with a lot of good deeds, but when the accounting will start, he'll have to give up many of his good deeds, who will claim, and at the end, he will be thrown in the hellfire for those sins which he has not committed. Just transferred from those people whose rights he has violated. So settle, compensate as much as possible. Halal income, food. Do it for Allah only, for the sake of Allah. Otherwise, nothing counts. We all know that. Dua, make a lot of dua. Dua is a weapon of a believer. So do not hesitate to ask again and again to Allah. Regularly evaluate a score and look for improvement. This is important. We all look our bank balance and try to make it improved, right? We want to make more money, more deposit in our bank balance, all these things. Similarly, take time to score those points and try to see how can you improve yourself. Exercise. These are the 10 things you should do. Exercise regularly, no matter how old you are. I have seen, I go to the gym. I have seen people 90 years old still doing exercise. That's some activity. So don't think you are old. Do exercise. Drink a lot of water. It's so good thing. Most of the people are sick because lack of water in your system. Breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a beggar. We do the opposite thing. We have a heavy dinner, hardly anything during lunch. I'm busy at work, and nothing in the morning. We are doing opposite way. Eat heavily in the breakfast, then something in the lunch, even nothing in the dinner. It is okay. This helps. Your body systems will be running. When your tank is full in the morning, so your body will be running fully. Regularly check up, no surprises. Disciplined, organized daily. Everything you do, disciplined. Sleep, enough sleep. There are people who are panicking. They're busy in their business, in their job. They have no time to sleep. That is not good. Try to balance it out. Enough sleep. Otherwise, you will be crazy. You will not be able to focus on your activities. Colorful food with less meat, vegetable, fish. Fish is a healthy thing to do. Prefer fish than meat. It is good. Daily prayer. Limit your desires and wishes. If you don't, you'll be working harder and harder, and you'll have nothing else to do. You'll be blindsided. There are a lot of people, they are working so hard. They are after money and position and all these things. At the end, they leave very quickly. So limit your limitation that, yes, I want to only make so much and wishes. So you can live peacefully. It will help you to save your activities for better things to do. Instead of making a high desire, focus on your activities to do like dawah, good example, helping Muslims around the world. That's the better choice. Be prepared to leave the world. Here is a joke. Laughing at your own mistakes lengthens your life, narrated by Shakespeare. If you laugh at your own mistake, you made a mistake, but you said, how silly it is, I made this mistake. You laugh, that is healthy. And his wife says something else. Laughing at your wife's mistakes shorten your life. How about that? His wife says opposite thing. If you laugh at your wife, it is not a good thing to do, because very soon there will be argument, there will be fighting, all of these things. Anyway, these are something to take it lightly. So this is the table I'm talking about. You can see on the top item number all the items I have in the book. I can send the file, but you score, you find your score. Is it positive or negative? How much is it? You keep adding all the numbers at the red column. You add all the numbers at the bottom. It will show you how many more years are left for you after all this analysis. And then you calculate your life expectancy. I have a what you call factor, which can multiply those things and calculate your estimated life expectancy. And then that is not the exercise. Exercise is then you come back and go to the improvement column. Number 1, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, that cannot change. Like your family values, family tradition, your disease, or family disease, all these things cannot be changed. That is 0. But other things can be improved. And you can recalculate what you scored before and what can you do now in the future. Like good example, you're not exercising and you start exercising. That's a plus. If you are smoking and now you're not smoking, that's a plus. And recalculate your life expectancy and calculate your new life. So your current age, you score certain years, okay? And then you life left, how many years left for you? Suppose your current age is 60 and you calculate it based on all these variables, it will be over 60. It will be say 65. So you have life left is 5 years. Then you go to the improvement and see, instead of 65, can you make it 70? What can you do to 70? What are the areas where you scored low and make it a higher number? And they will have extra life. If it is 70, it will have extra 5 years. So this is the process, as I mentioned. You can do it. If the doctor said to you, you'll do it every day, right? How about our friendly reminder? Do it every day, every month, and continuously improve yourself until death. So this is a process by which you can improve your life expectancy. Only Allah knows when you live. But whenever you live, at least you have done some exercise to improve your lifestyle. That is the presentation. Jazakallah khair. If you have any question, I'll be happy to answer. Okay, it took almost an hour.
Okay,
anyway,
thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Abdul Hye. It's a wonderful presentation, and it actually makes us aware that how negligent we are about the key factors that contribute to our healthy life in dunya and also in akhirah, because these things will also help us in akhirah, because you focused on a lot of good deeds according to Quran and Hadith. And if anyone wants to ask a question, please unmute and ask Dr. Abdul Hye. Please feel free to ask anyone.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. This is Abu Bakr from Hong Kong. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I have one question regarding the table on religion. On that table, you said it shows that if there's no religion, it is -2. But if there's a normal, you +2. But when you talk about serious, I don't know what you think about this serious. Is it more pious, or what do you mean by serious? Or is it
serious means more pious, yes.
Then
more
it's
pious.
just +1. So I'd like to know, is it more pious mean just +1? Or I just want to know more explanation about this religion, about religion.
These are scientific data. So let's see, what page is that? Religious, okay. Serious means you are practicing.
Practicing just +1, but for normal.
Yeah, +1. The reason being, the people abuse when they become seriously religion. They abuse their system.
Okay.
They're rough with their. I'm giving a good example. These have a very good. You picked up a very good item. A lot of people, they're religious, but they're very rough with their children. They're very rough with their wives, and that is not healthy.
Okay.
People around you will think that as if you are not here.
So they're intolerant.
Intolerant. On the other hand, if you are a normal Muslim, normal person, it doesn't have to be Islamic. I'm just giving an example. It is healthy for you as compared to another person who doesn't believe anything. At least 4 years difference, as you can see. Someone not religious, he's going to a disaster. Allah knows what will happen to his consequences. But somebody is a normal Muslim, he goes, pray 5 times, he take care of your family, halal income, take care of your children's education, be nice to his wife. Normal, that's what I call normal. That's what the definition is. Normal means he's a normal religious person. He's not extremist.
Oh, that is to say moderate.
Moderate, yeah.
Yes,
Moderate, yes.
Moderate. Not too extreme.
Not too extreme, because if
Yeah.
you are extreme, I have seen a lot of people, I have dealt a lot of people in my life. Somebody, one brother like in Houston, for example, his wife called me. He said, can you help me to get divorced? He said, what happened? He said, my husband was not religious. He used to be so nice to me. He used to take me to the store, to take me to the mall, take me to the park. Everything was normal. Now he became religious. He's staying in the masjid all the time. He does not care for me. Children's education is missing. He cannot drop children to the school, all kinds of irregularities. I don't want to live with him.
This is extreme.
Extreme. This is called, I call it serious.
Okay. Thank you.
So we
Thank
should
you.
be normal Muslim to do normal things, especially if you have family and children. If you're alone,
He's
then
ignoring
sure,
his-
you can be more serious.
he-
You can stand hold.
He's ignoring his divine responsibilities. That is
Yeah,
that is
that's
not
what I'm
what Allah
saying.
Rasul taught.
If you are alone, you can. So if you're alone, it doesn't matter. You can stand whole night and pray tahajjud and pray all these things. That is no problem. But if you are religious, impacting other people around you, that is not a
Right.
healthy thing to have.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Anybody else? It's very good question and very good answer. So actually, we understood in more detail what is involved. Anybody else? Mir Sadi is saying. Mir Sadi is saying he's said very praiseworthy words. So anybody else? Sadi, you want to ask a question or make a comment?
Okay, assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Alhamdulillah, it's an excellent presentation. Though I was late, I was in the masjid. I just heard the last few pages. So, Alhamdulillah, you have now the question going on whether it's a serious or the normal Muslim. So, serious, a Muslim must be serious, I think. Otherwise, he cannot achieve the target. But she should not be rude. I think we can think about this point. Serious, without seriousness, he cannot be a good Muslim. I think we can ponder on this point. A Muslim is always serious, but it is not extreme in any level. That is my point.
Perhaps
Okay,
perhaps the word should be extremist instead of serious. If Sadi is suggesting that.
No, then some people will say that what do you mean by extremist? How do you define extremist? Now I just put,
Okay.
I have examples like that. That's what I raised this issue, that people should be normal. I have people in my life. I have seen people. They said, you know what they say? They said, brother, you are a good Muslim. Fine. I cannot be like you. I cannot be like you. What you are doing is fine, but it is not for me. I have seen people say this thing, not to me. I'm just giving an example. So it should be
basically
a normal Muslim, like the Prophet ﷺ was a normal person. He used to cook. That's what Aisha Siddiqah radhiyallahu anha asked, what the Prophet used to do when he used to be at home. He said he used to help cleaning dishes, sweeping floors, all these things. And when Bilal gave azan, he used to go to the masjid and pray.
this is
normal.
This is actually now it is even more clear that Prophet ﷺ following Prophet's method is normal. The
Exactly.
following
Yes,
Prophet's example is
he used
normal.
to smile. He used to smile so much, like, and narrated by Tirmidhi. As I mentioned, show you, he used to smile so much. We have some people, religious people, that are extremists. Anything you say or do, he said, you are wrong, he'll cut you out. They are so extremist,
Right.
Also,
so
they don't smile.
hard-headed.
They don't smile.
They don't smile. This is not the habit of the Prophet.
Exactly.
So moderation is important.
Moderation.
Yes, Jazakallah.
Look what is happening. Good example. I'm not going to pickpocket or anything. Look what is happening in Afghanistan. Just look at it. What they are doing. They are stopping children's education into the girls' education in the school. What kind of Islamic teaching are these things? Aisha Siddiqah radhiyallahu anha was so much important that because of her presence with the Prophet, 300,000 hadith was transferred to the Ummah from her, through her. It would not have been possible. People only talk about her young age, all these things, but people do not realize what Allah has a mission. And she was able to relate 300,000 hadiths, which is being used worldwide till the last day of this world. Those hadiths, those sayings of the Prophet would never have been possible to be transmitted to the Ummah.
And she lived long to do that. She lived quite long after Prophet's death to narrate those hadith. Subhanallah.
Yes. So we should see the positive side. Be a normal Muslim, so that people can get an example. We do street dawah in America here. People say, you know what you are saying, I want to be like that.
Subhanallah.
I have some friends, they are extremists. They are abusing their family, children, all these things. Can you give an example? I said, example is the Prophet's example. Uswatun Hasana, best example.
Exactly. So that's a normal Muslim, as you clearly defined. This is wonderful, because what is the Prophet's tradition is normal Muslim. Anything like people who are extremists, they don't smile and they're very rude with people. And this is also not from the Sunnah of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Jazakallah khairan. Let's see anybody else.
Prophet, I posted on the other day that some people used to travel to Medina. The Prophet used to sit with his companion in such a way. People used to ask when they travel to Medina that who is the Prophet among you? And the Sahaba, he has to identify him because he was such a normal person sitting with his companions. It was difficult for outsider to even identify him. And today we have people sitting in such a way that looks like he's the king.
All right.
So we have a long way to go. Ideal path is the Prophet's lifestyle, Prophet's living, Prophet's work.
And best reference is here that normal has been defined as the prophetic way and Sunnah way.
Yes.
Excellent.
Excellent. Following the prophetic way is the normal life. There is
that's my message. I don't want to put anything else because people will have all kinds of questions. I try to make it less controversial. I actually tested many times with all these numbers. As you can see, that these numbers has value. Those years make a difference. If you pick any of the 86 variables, I just posted to all of you. If you pick any of these 86 variables, everything remaining same, say 85 is same, just one of them is changed. It can add actually 3 to 5 years of your life, as you can see from these tables.
Subhanallah.
Just by changing one of the variables can make a difference in your lifespan.
Yes,
which is worth considering for all of us.
Yes, I have another question. What is your methodology? How you calculate this, the number? How do you calculate that it will increase or decrease? Could you please say what is your method?
Yeah, I have done a lot of research from, at the beginning I showed you that a lot of research from medical especially and the scientific data. There are some scientific data, good example, how a person should sleep. Those data are from there. Similarly, Cancer Society, from many journals, I went through the many journals and saw the range, how they define. If you visit a doctor, if you cannot sleep properly, the doctor will advise you, okay, sleep for 5 hours, 6 hours. And those are the scale I picked up. So for a layman like all of us, we can actually pick up and get the message. That is the point here. Whether it should be 2 or minus, or how to go 2.1 or 2.5, that is arguable. We don't want to go that far. But as if it is a ballpark number for all of us to get an idea that, oh my goodness, if I can, like living alone, good example, can make a difference. Why should I live alone? It cost me 4 years of my life. I should live with someone. I should get married. Like at the top, as you can see, a 9A is married means 5 years difference. Not married means minus 2 years. You lose. So there are a lot of embedded values built in, and it is reaching to you, all of you, free. Use it or you lose it.
Brother Hidayatul Islam from Malaysia has some comments to make. Please unmute and speak.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much for giving me a time. Actually, I joined lately because it is. I was jogging and came and saw the title of this conversation and the presentation, longevity and how to increase the healthy life. Very interesting topic it was indeed, but I missed the major part. But what I learned and inspired by this question and answer, especially the normal life and the serious life and the extreme life or extremism and so and so. Actually, this term, the terminology that we are now using, let's say moderate Muslim, liberal Muslim, extremist Muslim, so and so. But basically, the Quran, the indicated we are ummatan wasata. Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 143, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ ummatan wasata. Ummatan wasata is basically Professor Muhammad Kamal Hassan is one of the very I say Islamic
Prominent
scholars and philosopher, prominent scholars and a philosopher in Islamic education. And he was also this Mamoon, you may know him personally, one of the Vice Chancellor of International Islamic University of Malaysia. He died last month. By the way, his book, Moderation in Islam and the Malay World, he nicely explained this terminology that we are now influenced and we also by this political regimes or the Western, the pundits, so and so. Basically, there is no moderate Islam, there is no liberal Islam. Islam is justly balanced. So we can say normal life, but better is, according to him, is a Muslim always shall be and should be the well balanced. That is the most and perfect term that we can use instead of normal life or liberal liberal Muslim, extreme Muslim, so and so. And second point is,
actually, brother, just on that point, Dr. Abdul Hye clarified that Prophet Islam's life is the normal life, and anything away from it is not normal. So no, that's the normal life that we should follow.
I agree. I agree. Just I add this the balanced life basically. This is the very academically sound, also very well accepted term. The balanced life. Prophet Islam was very balanced. I am saying here, let's say the long hadith, but the conclusion is the conversation between the Hanzala and this Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu. They met one day, and Hanzala said, "I became a hypocrite." Abu Bakr said, "What are you saying? How come you become a hypocrite?" He said, "When we meet Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and when he advise and motivate us about the life and the hereafter, so hellfire, Jannah, so and so, it's like we are see the Jannah or the hellfire, and we are too much motivated. But when we left him and we come to house and we engage with our family, our wives and the worldly lives, job, work, business, we forgot." So they both came to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the same words he repeated, "Ya Rasulullah, I became hypocrites. So what are you saying? Then Prophet ﷺ, look, if you really what you're saying and remembering Allah, and in front of me and also in my absence, but the angels will handshake with you in on your bed, on your
On your bed,
pathways,
yeah.
wherever you are. Again, Hanzala, remember, for worship there is a time, sa'atan, sa'atan. He repeated 3 times. For your worship, ibadah, there is a time, and for your family, there is a time. So you fulfill the rights to Allah and also to your family, your children, and the human below, fellow Muslim brothers of the human being. So here we found this basically the balanced life. Again, I want to say, Alhamdulillah. So Islam and Muslim and the Prophet tradition is basically a balanced life in worship, in family, in works, in everywhere. As Dr. Abdul Hye nicely mentioned, this normal life. I agree with. Jazakumullah khairan.
Thank you very much. Brother Tabish, do you want to say something all the way from Fiji? Okay. Yes. So, brother, anybody else wants to share something? I can see Hong Kong, Malaysia. Okay, brother Shahidul Islam, do you want to say something?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Though
This is Dr. Shahidul Islam.
Anyway, my name is Shahidul Islam. Anyway, though I joined lately, but I read the topics a little bit in the morning. So to me, to Dr. Hye, he opened a new dimension in research in the field of philosophy in Islam. Because till now, so far my small knowledge that all the studies really is a qualitative, but this one looks some quantitative. So it give me a new idea how the balanced life can be numerically and statistically present. Extreme Muslim or the low quality Muslim, how it can be present. It is like this. To my understanding, the Islam is a balanced life that in Surah Baqarah, I think 143, 45, some places, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he lead a balanced life. He asks to follow the balanced life. Yes, and our brother is saying normal. If I combine to this, if I distribute it in the normal distribution curve, so the normal life or the balanced life is become 0 level in the normal distribution curve. Left side is the positive part, and the negative part, right side is the positive part. It means those who are extremists, we can say they are in the negative part of the normal distribution life. If the in the negative part, that can be defined by quantitatively. So really, it give me a new idea how to define extremist, how to define a muhsin, by mathematically how to define a Muslim is non-practitioner Muslim. I think it's a new door to understand how to define the equality Muslim. So that is a new thing I learned from him. So thank you very much for that. Another thing I want to know a little bit from this scholar, it is like this. To me, Islam is not a religion because I never find anything in Quran, though my knowledge is very narrow. When I read the Quran, I found it is about the life. It is about the economy. Is it about the social science? Is it about the many science relating to energy, relating to health, relating to the water and environment like this? But why we tend to say that Islam is the best religion? I really is very difficult for me to understand because maybe my small knowledge, but to me it's not a religion.
You mean Islam is a way of life? It's comprehensive way of life.
Right. So why not our scholar define it this way? Maybe then all the believers like Bible, Injil, Torah, they believe on it. And they can also read the Quran, because in the beginning, if I say Surah Imran, 3rd ayat, straightway stated that it is saying about the Injil and Torah. So why not we open all this way by not saying Islam is a religion? Why not we say it is a catalog of the book, how to catalog of the life, how to lead a good life. So that is the thing, point I want to know from all the scholars today join here. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Abdul Hye, any response to those two basically comments?
Okay. What, whether as a Muslim, whether you call it religion or a way of life, it doesn't mean that much. The reason I'm saying is we do street dawah in America. What we try to tell people on the street when they come to our table in front of a shopping mall, what we say that, look, if you are a Christian, if you are a Jewish, we have no problem. We believe in all the prophets who came. Otherwise, I'm not even a Muslim. If I don't believe all the prophets Allah sent, that is the basic of our foundation. I am not even a Muslim. But what we are saying right now, if you are a good Christian, for a good Jewish person, or if you are a Hindu, you should be a good Muslim, because that is the final religion, final message from Allah, who has created everything. So you should accept the fact that that is the final chapter of the way of life or religion, whatever you say. Because religion is something commonly used, whether we agree or disagree that it is a way of life. Sure, it is a way of life. It has everything has to say about even when you, how you go to the bathroom, even everything is defined. So
Right.
to talk with non-Muslims, talk with for dawah purposes, we need to compare apple to apple. Otherwise, if you say way of life, okay, you are a Muslim, you have your way of life. I have nothing to do with you. But the moment you say religion, then it has to do with a link. If you are a Jewish person, you follow Moses, and we follow Moses also. We have some connection. Right. And that's why we should accept Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He came after Moses came with the message from the same God. Right. And then he should accept that religion. That is our message. That link will not be able to establish the moment you say way of life or anything else.
Okay, thank you very much. There is, I can see Brother Azhar is there. Brother Azhar, do you want to say something from Philippines? He is the director of WAMI in the Philippines. Brother Azhar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Just want to extend my salam to everyone. Jazakumullahu khairan. Especially to Dr. Abdul Hye for the very nice presentation, mashallah. We can definitely, we're waiting for this PowerPoint. We can definitely utilize it, especially for our young ones. Inshallah, Jazakumullah khair. Ustadh Mamoon, it's so good to see you, inshallah. We hope to see you.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
TBF soon, inshallah. Brother Yusuf and everyone. Just salam from Philippines. I am in Manila right now. I'm going down.
Okay.
Very good.
Alhamdulillah, you are doing a great job, mashallah. May Allah bless you for it.
For your information, sorry, the presentation is in the PDF file shared in the chat box already. Kindly check and download. And
no, I send in PowerPoint.
Yes.
To make sure people can present it.
Oh, okay. So we can also share in PowerPoint. And secondly is the video record of the presentation of Dr. Abdul Hye will be uploaded to our channel. I have sent a link already in the chat box. So those brothers who join us late, you can refer to the video recording, inshallah.
Excellent, excellent. Our brother
Mashallah.
Yusuf is very quick on these things on technology front. Let's see if anybody, there's one sister, Sister Nabila. Do you want to say something? No, okay. Brother Tabish
I like to mention that
from,
file, Brother Yusuf has posted the file in PDF, PowerPoint. It is PowerPoint, not PDF. PDF
Okay.
he cannot,
no, I mean,
he cannot present.
yeah.
So people can
Yeah.
share it. I like every brother. Alhamdulillah, you're all good-hearted brothers. I like every one of you to take that
Okay.
file, present
Okay.
it to your communities, so people can be educated
Okay, inshallah.
and benefit.
Just Brother Tabish from Fiji wants to say something, inshallah. Brother Tabish.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum
Walaikum
salam.
assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Doctor, very, very good presentation. The one thing that I think scientific information now is moving away from, your meals, you said breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a beggar. I think with the new system of intermittent fasting, they suggest that you fast for 16 hours a day, which takes breakfast out of the equation. It becomes a very late breakfast, because I mean, and it makes sense, because if you look at the primitive man who did not have a fridge and he did not have a pantry, so he used to have to go out hunting. So it's very unlikely that breakfast was part of his regimen either. So
okay, no, what you're saying is probably correct, but what scientists say, if you go to a doctor, forget everything. People do diet control, people do exercise, people do all kinds of changing habits. That is not the issue you're talking about. You are talking about a normal person. When you wake up in the morning, your stomach is empty. And if you go to work, and if you are starving, you cannot focus, you cannot concentrate. So normal person, again, we are talking about normal things. Normal breakfast means you should have a good, solid breakfast. You may not have lunch, that's fine. But dinner may be something. But the emphasis is on the breakfast. That is always the case by a doctor. You can ask medical profession, they will tell you this thing. That
okay.
If you want to control diet, if you are exercising, that is different ballgame. Yes.
Can I just say something? Because now they are finding that if people do intermittent fasting, like I say, and they miss the breakfast, people can even reverse diabetes and other NCDs. And that is one of the biggest tools that we have. Because remember, like I said, primitive man did not come onto this earth with a fridge and a pantry. So food was not available. We are made in such a way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us in such a way that when the food is not available, we will still go on, and until we are able to go and fetch our food, whether it's hunting, gathering, or anything else, until we do that, we are still running on the food that we've consumed previously. And that also gets rid of obesity.
Okay, I mean, worst thing people say to do, the doctors say to do is in the evening you eat heavy and you go to sleep. That will add a lot of weights, a lot of your body will be overloaded, all these things. When you have solid food, like if your tank is full in your car, you can drive as long as you want, whole day, no problem. But if you don't have gas, you will be stuck right there. But I'm talking about not primitive time. Primitive time, people used to have a, say, diseases, they could not have cure, right? We cannot compare primitive people. They have to look for food before they can even eat breakfast. Those things does not apply today. Today, if you open a freezer, you have a lot of food for breakfast. So the healthy, normal person is after you wake up in the morning, after whole night sleeping, wake up in the morning, your stomach is empty. First thing is drink a lot of water. That is one of the number 2 item, as you can see.
Yeah,
A lot of
totally
water
agree.
and food. Food, it doesn't mean that you fill your stomach so much then you fall asleep right now. It will not be healthy, but enough to keep you going whole day. And they found out, I have a presentation on that I presented last time about teamwork, that if you have a
Yes.
breakfast and if you do lunch, then your whole day, your efficiency will be always higher than as compared to another person who is starving whole day.
Mm.
I made
Exact-
that presentation to, it has been scientifically found. In fact, a lot of companies, they do that. I visited Microsoft in Seattle. They do that. The reason being, they say that people are more efficient. They encourage you to eat. And during lunchtime, they encourage you not to work. The reason being, if you work during lunchtime, you lose your focus, lose your concentration. Do something else, like listen to music or play chess or something else, so that your mind is free. And when you come back from lunch, you have a full focus on your attention, and you can focus
Yes.
more on your job.
Just for your information, Dr. Abdul Hye,
Yes.
Brother Tabish is a Muslim community leader in Fiji.
Mashallah.
And I've known him for a long time. And a very organized Fiji Muslim League is running. At that time when I went there, 22 schools. And
Oh, mashallah.
Fiji Muslim League is very organized people. And you were General Secretary then. What is your position now?
At the moment, I'm taking a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Who is-
I'm heading diabetes Fiji, so that's why I had the angle from the diabetic point of view.
Okay. Okay. Nice. He's also the country representative for the planning team for this webinar. So we are close to our ending time. So if there is any last minute comment from anyone, please feel free. Anyone? Okay, so we can conclude for today, and it is for me to say a great thank you for our expert teacher scholar Ustadh Dr. Abdul Hye to bring a very stimulating discussion and reflection on how we can medically, scientifically enhance our life, increase our life. Of course, Allah can take a healthy person at any time. That's Allah's choice. But medically and scientifically, there are 86 variables, as he said. And inshallah, we should all review our life, and we should promote this, inshallah. May Allah bless you. And I return to Brother Yusuf for conclusion.
Jazakallah khair, Ustadh Mamoon, for your moderation, and also thank you so much for Dr. Abdul Hye's presentation, which is very stimulating and really thought-provoking. May Allah bless you all. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the participants for joining the webinar today, and hope that all of you should help to spread the news so that more people will have a chance to learn from our learned speakers. We also have the video record of all our proceedings in the channel, so that you may refer to it after the event. So thank you once again for joining us. Wabillahi wa tawfiq wa hidayah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Wa alaikum salam wa
Wa alaikum salam wa
rahmatullahi wa
rahmatullahi wa
barakatuh.
barakatuh.